You had sent around some imagery for galaxies in the Ursa Major region. Was that correct?
Yeah, yes, I have been. It just seems to line up well with my backyard. So the last month
Right.
I've been taking pictures of galaxies in Ursa Major and probably have well over 30 now.
Would you like to try imagery on one or two of those objects?
Yeah, this is just starting to come in. And this is M81, or also known as Bode's Galaxy in Ursa Major. Yeah,
It
now
opened up the
starting
narration.
to come in. You can almost
Now
see some of the arms start to show up. It's a spiral galaxy, and it's in Ursa Major, about 12 million light years from Earth. It's got two big spiral arms that you can't quite make out yet, but I might have another picture that I took later I could share as well, where you can really start to see these arms on the outside. And it has a supermassive black hole in the middle. It's about 70 million solar masses. So it's about 15 times larger than the one in the Milky Way. Yeah, there's an arm up. I don't know if you see my mouse, but there's an arm up here, and there's an arm down here that you can really see. And I can swap to one that's a little that's not live. I think you can see that a little bit more clearly.
The arm is starting to. Is this the live version or the?
No, this is not a live version. This is one
that you've integrated over what, an hour?
Yeah, it's probably about an hour length shot. Some of these others won't quite come up yet because not this time. It's still below, but this is M101, also known as the Pinwheel Galaxy, and you can see all these different arms shooting off of it. Again, this is all in Ursa Major. These are all objects that Messier or wound up in Messier's catalog. That's where there are all the M objects, but there are so many galaxies in that direction, that were found much later. It is an easy area to hunt and find galaxies, I have found. And a good example here of what I mean by how many galaxies are running around. This, single image here has a pretty cool galaxy I like here with the spiral, and there you can see this sort of SE dust cloud in it, and it sort of spirals off in two big arms, and that's NGC 3718. And then it has this other bar galaxy. You can really sort of make out this bar right across the center core pretty strongly, and that's NGC 3729. But then over here you'll see like these little tiny line squiggles in a group here, and that's 4 or 5 galaxies right there, and it's known as a HDC 56 cluster. To be honest, I'm not sure how far away they are in relationship to these other galaxies, but in just one small view, you can pick up a ton of galaxies this direction.
Which is the turquoise one to the left of that?
I was going to try and get a live shot of that in a minute, but that is the Owl Nebula. So that is M97, I think. I have to double check that.
That's correct.
Yeah. You can almost see sort of the blue in the middle. It has a red on the outside, but it's pretty faint in my shot. It's pretty. Switch from live back to some other ones I'd shot earlier. This one is very faint. It's a big spiral actually right in here. It's quite faint. It has one side is stronger than the other, but it's a big spiral in the center. That's NGC 2805, and this took like 80 minutes just to even get this much of it in. And then down here is NGC 2820, and then it's got a little dwarf galaxy that's bound to it. That's 2820A. So that was pretty cool. And then this is 2814, right above it over there. Again, these are more edge on. It's fairly faint though.
You happen to know if those are approximately the same distance away from Earth?
I don't remember off the top of my head. When I was digging into this one to figure it out, because I was trying to figure out if this one was, you know, farther away or actually bound to that, and I finally found out that this was an A, that theirs are bound, but I've forgotten exactly the distance. These obviously look like they're much farther than this one edge on, but I'm not really sure if that's true either. Like this one, which is and again another big spiral here, and this other one very close to it, and from what I remember checking out, that this one is you know, orbiting this one, and that there's actually this reason this is spiral is these guys interacted and sort of caused this one to go spiral, and this one is now being sucked up into that one. Pretty cool.
3893 Sky Safari says 59 million light years, I believe.
There we go. These two I thought were really neat. Well, at least this particular one. Again, it's got that sort of a big S shape to it. And that's NGC 4088. And then this is NGC 4085. Side view. This is another, again, another pretty spiral, NGC 3631. Now this one, I've got two pictures of this one. This one is giving off lots of ultraviolet. Not that we're going to pick that up necessarily on our camera. Yeah, so this one's a little hard to see its structure because the bright star next to it as well. But it is a spiral galaxy, and it's a starburst galaxy, and it's likely it's making like tons of stars really quickly, and producing lots of energy because of that. And this one's approximately 46 million light years away. Not quite as interesting to look as what it looks like, but it's for what it's going on is it's, you know, it's producing tons of stars. They think there was probably a merger with another galaxy, sort of disturbed it to create it. It's sort of this one has like a little bit of a blue look to it. You can almost make out one or two of the spirals, but it's hard to because this other star is really sort of messing it up. I have a little zoom in version here, a little bit more close. It's another nice spiral, partly at an angle. It's NGC 3198. Another, I can't remember, I might have shown that one already, 3953. Another really pretty spiral. I think it's a bar too, barred spiral, looks like. This one you can really see the arms, and this is NGC 3184. Really strong arms, spiral.
Okay, Mike. So you said this is 3184?
Yeah, that was 3184.
What I got for that is
Yep. Well, let me switch
it's
back.
a spiral galaxy about 40 million light years away in Ursa Major. Has two H2 regions named NGC 3180 and 3181. It houses a high abundance of heavy elements, and that was at, let's see, and SN 1999 GI, that was a magnitude 14 type 2 supernova detected on December 9th, 1999. Other supernovae in that galaxy include 1921b, magnitude 13.5, 1921c at magnitude 11, and 1937F at 13.5.
Quite a bit.
And by the way, that the last one, 3953, that is a barred spiral according to the info I have. NGC 3184 on May 31st, 2010, Koichi Takagi detected a magnitude 17 optical transient 33 minutes east and 61 minutes north of the center of the galaxy. This event may be an outbursting luminous blue variable star. Archival Hubble and Spitzer image of NGC 3184 seem to show no progenitor for an optical transient SN20, an unfiltered magnitude of 17.1, corresponding to a peak absolute magnitude of minus 13.3. And for those who aren't familiar with absolute magnitude, if memory serves, the comparative magnitude of an object placed at a distance of 10 parsecs, I think, for purposes of Earth observation. So it's not an apparent magnitude. An absolute magnitude normalizes the view to how bright would it be if it were 10 parsecs from Earth, which is 30 light years.
Switch now. I've got a live image of M108. You might have something on that one too.
Messier 108, also known as NGC 3556, is a barred spiral galaxy discovered by Pierre Méchain in 1781 or 82. From the perspective of Earth, this galaxy is seen almost edge-on. It's an isolated member of the Ursa Major cluster of galaxies in the Virgo supercluster. It has a morphological classification of type SB, capital S, capital B, lowercase bc in the Devacoleur system, which means it is a barred spiral galaxy with somewhat loosely wound arms. The maximum angular size of the galaxy in the optical band is 11.1 minutes by 4.6 minutes of arc, and it is inclined 75 degrees to the line of sight. For those not familiar, minutes of arc describes the size that the object subtends in the sky. A minute of arc is 1/60th of a degree. So if the moon is half a degree, so that's about 30 minutes of arc. So this object appears to be 4.6 minutes of arc by 11 minutes of arc, compared with the moon at 30 minutes of arc. This galaxy has an estimated mass of 125 billion times that of the sun, and includes about 290, give or take 80 globular clusters. Examinations of the distribution of neutral hydrogen shows shells of expanding gas extending for several kiloparsecs, known as H1 supershells. These may be driven by bursts of star formation activity, resulting in supernovae explosions. Alternatively, they may result from an infall of gas from outside the galaxy or by radiojets.
Hi, Safari says that the Chandra X-ray Observatory has identified 83 X-ray sources in M108. The brightest located at the nucleus may be an intermediate mass black hole containing 24 million times the mass of the sun. How about that?
Yeah, that's right. That corresponds with the next portion I had here. The galaxy is also emitting a diffuse soft X-ray radiation within 10 kiloparsecs of the optical galaxy. The spectrum of the X-ray source at the core is consistent with an active galactic nucleus, but an examination with the Spitzer Space Telescope shows no indication of activity. The supermassive black hole at the core has an estimated mass of 24 million times that of the sun. Pretty large for a black hole.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, that's what we've got.
I want to bring up something I showed already before, just because I've got some new data on it that I think is pretty cool. I was talking about the HCG 56 group right here. That is 370 million light years away.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's 10 times further away than the galaxies that we've been looking at.
Yep.
Eight or 9 times, actually.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's at a very great distance.
There's some really pretty spirals too up there I've run into. And this one is NGC 3938. And you can see a lot of the little arms running around in that one.
And this again is all within Ursa Major, or
everything I'm showing is in Ursa Major. I have 30 something galaxies that I've been able to capture over the last month, in the days that were clear and not rainy. But there's countless more. I mean, it's amazing how many there are. I just sort of found the ones that intrigued me and I could capture well. Sometimes I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and clicked one, and it wasn't terribly interesting, and then others turned out to be very cool. A couple of other NGCs, 2976. Again, it's another little spiral, and 2841. This one's pretty big. It's just countless galaxies hiding out there in Ursa Major.
Well, as it says, that is a portion of the Virgo cluster. It's an entire
Yeah.
galaxy. It's all by itself.
That's what I can't wait for the to get into to March and April when the Virgo is up sooner.
Yes.
This little fuzz ball up here, if you guys see my cursor, is actually a galaxy, NGC 3073.
3073.
Yeah, 3073. This little tiny one up here. And then the big one that you really see that's almost edge on, but not exactly, is 3079. So that's this one right here, the really big one. I just found out when I ran this through a software to detect, if there's other things hidden in there, because I kind of thought that this was something, but it didn't register. But this did.
It says here that that's about 50 million light years away, located in obviously in Ursa Major. Prominent feature is the bubble forming in the very center. The supermassive black hole at the core has a mass of, I'm guessing that's 3.6 times 10 to the sixth. So about 3.6 million solar masses. Yeah. The bubble at the center is believed to be about 3,000 light years wide and to rise more than 3,500 light years above the disk of the galaxy. It's thought that the bubble is being formed by particles streaming at high speeds, which were in turn caused by a large burst of star formation. The current bubble is thought to have been created about 1 million years ago, and computer modeling suggests that it's part of a cycle of bubble formation, with a new bubble forming about every 10 million years.
Oh.
The 3073 that you showed, the small, that's an elliptical, it says, in Sky Safari, and that's 110 million light years.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to after I get some of these, if I see other things that sort of show up and I'm not sure what they are, I tend to run it through some software to sort of figure out stuff. And every once in a while, I find something in there I didn't realize was in there.
That software that you're using to do that?
Yeah, there's a couple of websites that you can do this thing. One is the Telescopus website. We'll do some of this sometimes, and another one is novaastronomy.net. Yeah, novaastronomy.net is another one, and you can just upload your photos and it will figure out what's there, label a lot of the stars, label galaxies. Sometimes I take stuff and lose track of what it was and have to run it through there, figure out what.
Great to get those websites noted on the group chat thing.
Oh yeah. I'll.
Can you put that on Facebook?
I can put them on. I can put them on our Facebook group for sure. I think I might have. I know I've shared them a lot with the other folks playing with EV scopes, but I'll add them to this chat as well.
So you said telescopists?
Yeah, that's been one of my favorites recently, is because it.
Nova Astronomy, was it?
Yeah, I'm getting them into the chat right now. The Telescopus one's really been helpful for me to organize and plan my evening when I'm doing it, because it'll tell me when it's going to be at its high point, and I can sort of map out my day. There in the chat is one of the sites that I like to use to plan out what I'm going to do that evening. And it will also sometimes, if you upload your images, it will also calculate if there's other stuff in there. And then there's the other one I use that you can upload your images and it'll tell you what's in there.
Okay, so
as well. And that second one has an API as well that you could use and wire into other things. So this is got a big bar in the middle. This is M109. And you can really see that big, thick bar in it.
109. All I have is that it's the brightest galaxy in that group. A large group of galaxies, well, again, in Ursa Major, may contain over 50 in total.
Yeah. Let's see what I got. Extra bits I got here is it's about 85 million light years away. It's about 180,000 light years in diameter, or 10 arc minutes of arc. It's a thick barred spiral galaxy, and it contains about 1,000 billion stars. Yes, there we go.
1,000 billion.
Yes.
A type LA A type, what's that, 1A supernova occurred in M109 in 1956 and reached a magnitude of 12.3 or 12.8 maximum brightness.
Yeah, another one that made it into Messier's catalog.
Can you put
Yeah.
up your picture matrix again?
Sure, absolutely.
This is a 4-inch telescope doing this.
Yep.
4.5.
The EV.
Yeah.
Wow.
And takes takes about 5 minutes to set up.
Yeah.
And get
Weighs
going.
20 pounds.
I thought it was like 23, 26, something like that.
Can you scroll down, Mike?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what is the one? It's the last row that's visible. It's got an edge-on galaxy and a very strange looking other. Yeah, that one.
Yep. Yeah, this one's cool. So this really cool weird one, which is like it's got like this arm going this way and an arm going that way and a big bar. So like a really sharp curry S. That's NGC 4088. And the little one edge on one is 4085. Yeah, this particular one here with the big arms. That's why I shot this one. I saw that that's what it was supposed to look like. So I said, yeah, I need to see that one.
NGC 4088 and 4085.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you sent these around, I think I looked up 4088 and 4085. 4088 came up, but 4085, it kept asking, do you want 4065?
Yeah.
So Wikipedia didn't seem to know what 4085 was.
Safari sees it.
Yeah, it's definitely there. That's another one that's gotten validated on those websites.
Okay.
62 million light years, 2.5 by 0.5 arc minute spiral, elongated east to west, 4085.
The only last one I have, which is terribly unexciting, is NGC 4026.
How long was the exposure on NGC 4088 and 4085?
Probably about an hour. Most of these are somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour.
Mm-hmm. And it was done under what phase of the moon?
Like either barely there or, quarter size. Most of the stuff was done, the end of January and a couple bits and times through February. I'll give you this one too, which was one of the challenges for Unistellar. This is Thor's helmet. I don't know if I showed this one last time or not. NGC 2359. But you sort of has, I'm guessing that you got the little horns here, Viking horns.
Yeah.
2359.
2359. 23.
So do you do any of these with a filter as well?
Nope.
Is that possible on an EV scope?
Maybe. I mean, you'd have to put it on the outside. You couldn't because you don't use the eyepiece.
Yeah.
So they don't have any filters. I know that they sell.
Now they don't believe so.
Doesn't mean they may not some point in time in the future.
Well, they did it one time. They were talking about coming out with a hydrogen alpha filter for solar observing. And they're asking whether you'd be willing to pay $1,000 for one.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like all the other filters are really small because they're only for your eyepiece, but this one would have to be 4 inches. It'd have to be pretty big.
Yeah. Well, besides, hydrogen alpha filter is expensive anyhow.
Yeah. This was another one of the cases where I was interested in galaxies that are sort of like feeding off of each other. And this is NGC 799 and 800 in what is it? Cetus?
The whale?
Yeah, the Cetus is the constellation. I'm not sure the right way to pronounce that one.
Cetus the Cetasian.
Yeah. This is really faint as well to get, and took quite a bit to get this much of it.
So you said
Pretty small.
NGC 789?
Sorry, 799 and NGC 800. The 800 is the little one, and 799 is the big one.
Wow. 260 million light years for 799.
Yeah, that one was hard to get. Still not as good as the 370 million of the of that little galaxy cluster.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one was tough. That was another little project before I really started the Ursa Major ones. This is also in Cetus, if I remember right. This is NGC 2403.
Supposed to be 799 is supposed to be receding at 1.9% of the speed of light, 5,834 kilometers per second.
Wow.
Says we better watch, better catch it while we can.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's going away.
So anyone have anything further to add, or are we pretty much done?
Looks like we're good.
Yeah, I think I've showed more galaxies than I could even remember. So I'm definitely done.